Hi, happy to see you all here. Thank you for coming. I want to start by thanking Hojar for giving me the opportunity to talk about my favorite topic in my favorite city in the whole world with some of my favorite speakers on stage. So chances are that you might just be my favorite audience. Since I'm a designer, I want to start with some scope setting. Even though I've been immersed in the AI space for over a year now, which makes me sort of a semi-baby veteran, I still don't consider myself an expert. And frankly, I think no one is because of the rapid pace at which the AI space is evolving. Nobody can keep up. Everybody has bits and pieces of the entire landscape. So I'm no different, I'm no expert, just a person who has collected interesting ideas about AI, spent a lot of time designing AI-powered products. I'm going to share some of those ideas with you today. Hopefully, by the end of this talk, you'll feel more excited and less worried about the world of possibilities that AI is presenting us with. So, my journey in AI started 1.5 years ago. I've been a designer for almost 10 years at that point, and working with my former employer, UiPath, which is headquartered on Capitol Streets from here. We realized that we saw an opportunity for revolutionizing the way people copy and paste information, which sounds like a very basic scenario, but revolutionizing basic stuff seems to be the hardest. So we added a layer of semantic understanding to the way people transfer data between systems. And it turns out that Time magazine thought that this is the best invention of 2023. We were just awarded this. It's nice to have the recognition. It's super humbling. We didn't expect it. They reached out to us. But it goes to show that there's so much space in innovating with the help of AI, even basic tasks, or even more so, basic tasks. I also patented this design, which makes me an inventor here in the US. That's also pretty cool. And yeah, this is proof. In case you think I'm hallucinating, I'm not. This really happened. Yeah. In the meantime, I joined Miro to work on their AI team. I'm the lead product designer. I'm supposed to shape the vision for how AI is gonna augment collaboration between people. As a designer, it's extremely exciting to work on the collaboration and communication space, so I am very grateful for that. So this is where I come from. Now let's see where AI is coming from in this conversation. For the past year, conversations about AI have exploded. Everybody's talking about it. If you open your favorite social media platform, you're probably gonna see some AI-generated content or something about AI. And I think that's great. That's super important because the conversations we have today are shaping the products of tomorrow. The conversations we have today are calibrating the principles and the foundation in which we're building this new world. So more conversations. I don't feel there's an oversaturation. I feel we need more of that in the public space. And we need more people using these tools, not just for personal, individual reasons, getting to know the products, understanding what they can do for you and how you can enhance your work and your life with the help of AI, but also for exposing the limits, understanding the boundaries, understanding where these products fail, what they should do, what they shouldn't do, and thus teaching the people who are building AI how to create better products for us, more sustainable, more ethical, and simply better. So I want to encourage everyone to start playing with these tools so we learn together what they're good for. And the people building AI, I think many of us here will probably migrate in time in working in some way or another in products, on products that have some AI component, that are AI powered in one way or another. So we have to start preparing for a different mindset. Why now? AI has been around for a long time. What happened with this explosion? Where is it coming from? And it might come in as a shock, but it has to do with ChatGPT and its popularity. You've probably seen this on social media. It reached 1 million users in 5 days. Compared to other big products, it was this incredible adoption story. In the meantime, it was overturned by Threads, but it had the unfair advantage of being an Instagram product. But yeah, what this shows us, what this tells us, is that the world is now prepared to welcome in these products that are now democratizing generative AI. They're making generative AI accessible in our everyday lives in a way that was not possible before. We had image generators, but few real use cases were valuable enough for that people to use them beyond just experiment. But with ChatGPT, everyone could get access to this and embed it in one way or another in their workflows, in their everyday life. And so this exploded, and everybody became, it just surfaced a curiosity, a fascination, fears, concerns that we all sort of had, but didn't get the space to think about them and discuss them. So ChatGPT was important. In the meantime, it's also kind of losing steam. There was this big hype, and now some negative press. The usage has stagnated for a while, and now it's starting to even decrease. There's some sort of disappointment in what these tools can do. Can they really deliver what they promise? They can't right now. It's infant technology. I'd like to compare it with the birth of the internet. The internet in its early days was pretty silly. You couldn't even figure out what to do with it. And AI is in a similar, a bit more advanced, but quite similar stage, right? Results are inaccurate, disappointing. You need like 10 iterations to get to where you want it to. It's like, it's not there yet, but it's gonna get there. So we wanna start preparing for that. And it turns out that in tech, there's this thing by Gartner, hype cycle. Turns out that tech products and tech trends kind of have a similar evolution. And AI made no difference. It went super hype, super peak. Everybody was talking about it. And now we're starting to see some negative press emerge. Can AI deliver? Stuff like that. But what you need to see when you look at this is that there's going to be a downfall, but then it's going to stabilize. And it's going to continue to grow steadily in a more sustainable way. So this technology will be a part of our lives in the future. There's no way back, even beyond the disappointment. So before we get into more practical things, I think it's important we align around the definition of what AI is. An AI system essentially poses two main qualities. They're autonomous and they have adaptivity. Autonomy means that they can perform tasks in complex environments without constant guidance from a user. Adaptivity means that they can learn from experience, that they can adjust based on the way they're being used. So another way to think about it is as a collection of tools. We have supervised learning, unsupervised learning, reinforcement learning. These are all tools by which we teach these machine learning models what to do. Generative AI is a very important one, and it's the one that's probably going to grow the most in the next couple of years. But if you frame AI as a set of tools, then we're moving into a very interesting space. And I'm getting to the first important idea I want to share with you today, which is this one. It's actually a quote. We shape our tools, and thereafter, our tools shape us. So this is a call to responsibility. This is what I want to start with. Essentially, everything we do, everything we design, everything we build is shaping the human experience, is shaping our life experience, the way we work, the way we live, the space we live in. You can think about absolutely any type of creation, right? If it's from architecture to object design, conversations, environments, interactions, digital products, everything we design will design us. Everything we create will create us. So what this means in the age of AI is that design decisions matter, and they matter more than ever, because we can take potentially wrong turns, and it can harmfully impact the future of our lives. So if you're getting into this space, or if you want to think about this more, start with this responsibility lens. We shape our tools, and our tools shape us. So we're using these tools, and they come with a set of challenges, right? Some of them you've probably been exposed to, read about, they're pretty much discussed, not sufficiently discussed. I think we should spend more time on them. But let's briefly go through some of the main challenges that AI technologies pose. Bias. AI systems are inherently biased. It's not their fault. They're not evil. They're just a reflection of the bias that naturally occurs in societies. But we do have an opportunity to interject it, clean up the data, feed data sets that have positive worldviews, that don't discriminate, that don't propagate the harm that naturally and sadly occurs in society. So we do have an opportunity to feed representative and good data into these systems, and so lower down the power of bias, the danger of bias. Safety and security is another interesting one. When people think about it, they immediately think about this AGI, general artificial intelligence, a robot that will become sentient and be very evil and mischievous and destroy the world and kill us all. But it's pretty unlikely, not impossible, but pretty unlikely. I think we're safe for a while. But there are more immediate concerns. Concerns relating, pertaining to data privacy, leaks of information. AI systems can be manipulated. They can be corrupted by malicious users for evil reasons. There's also the aspect that sometimes these systems become aggressive, they become rude. We've seen some Microsoft Bing examples on Twitter where it went completely wrong very quickly. So there are some immediate concerns that the industry needs to tackle. Designing for probability is my favorite one in a way because I've been dealing with it for the past year and a half. So in conventional systems, in conventional design, you would define the path the user is going to go on. So if the user does this, then he will be presented with they will be presented with this, option 1, 2, 3, and errors potentially 1, 2, 3, and then you know what's going to happen. You can predict, you can control it because you design it, you define it. With AI, you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if the outcome is good. You don't know if this is what the user intended to get. So you're designing for this ambiguous space and a probability. And so how do you accommodate design decisions that are welcoming enough to serve this unpredictability, non-determinism? Trust and transparency. Turns out that people don't trust systems that they have no idea how they work. We can't even trust if the output is correct, and fairly so. So here what we can do is to think about, frame this space as what I like to call explainable AI. Demonstrated thinking, show what goes on under the hood in simple terms. Here's how I ended up giving you this particular output. Here is my thinking process, right? Here are the sources. Here's what this answer is based on. So if we embed more of this behavior in the products, in AI-powered products, we'll be able to trust them more. Ownership and intellectual property, this is a huge debate. I think we need a conference dedicated to how art is going to change in the age of AI. But I just want to make one point. I feel that society will eventually shift in the values it values. We're going to value what's human-made. So we're going to appreciate art, not because it's scarce like it used to be. Art, it's not scarce anymore. We can produce millions of art pieces every day with the help of AI. But we will value it because it was created by a person with their trauma, their pain, their suffering, their history, and so on. And the example that illustrates this is the example of Mona Lisa. So with today's technology, we can create a Mona Lisa that's equally beautiful to the real one. That's even more impressive, let's say. But we look at it, we know that it's been generated by stable diffusion. It's not going to be impressive. If you go to the Louvre, you're surrounded by people who are in awe looking at this painting. You know you're sitting in front of a piece of art that has been worshipped, that has fascinated humanity for centuries, right? You know that we collectively agreed for the past 500 years that this has value, that this is important. You're going to experience something different than looking at something generated by a computer. Okay, what are the design principles that can sort of help us navigate these challenges we've been through? Start with people. As designers, this is what we're supposed to do anyhow. But in the age of AI, we should do it more than ever. Because we're going to move into this hybrid model of existence. We will co-create stuff with AI, but the human needs to be at the center of this process, at the center of this collaboration. So start with the person in this pair. Always put the person at the center of everything, not the technology. Build for everyone. Make sure the design decisions you make are inclusive. The danger here is that these modern technologies will deepen the gap in societies, will deepen inequality. The privileged will get more privilege with these technologies, the underprivileged will get less. So these technologies need to be accessible to everyone. Everybody should be able to use ChatGPT, right? So otherwise, we're just creating inequality. Help people grow. This is a very interesting one. There's this aspect of mutual learning that goes on in AI systems. So essentially, if we design products that teach us how to use them, they will eventually get better. And it's this learning loop, this positive feedback loop that should be embedded in these products, right? Teach me how to use you, I will use you, you will learn and get better for me. Fight bias, we've sort of touched on that. Be accountable, just act like a responsible, nice person. If you're an AI system, just be nice, admit when you're wrong, give people a way to recover from errors or dead ends. Okay, build trust, demonstrated thinking, explainable AI, show what goes on under the hood. Citations, like a very basic stuff of element in design. Give safety and control, give people the feeling that and not just the feeling, hopefully, that they own their data, that they're in control of what goes on in this interaction, that they're safe. Promote good. With every AI decisions you make, think about what the impact will be. Is this a good thing to create in the first place? How can it harm people? Can it harm people? If yes, then forget about it, and just this kind of reasoning. Age nicely. This summer I recorded a course for AI and design. It's a combination. It's essentially a course for UX designers about AI. And initially I turned down Interaction Design Foundation because I said, my course is going to be irrelevant in 3 months. I'm not going to do it. And they knew that it can't possibly be evergreen at the speed at which this landscape is evolving. But so we found a middle ground in creating ideas and a mindset that ages nicely. This is how the products we build today with AI in them should be. They should age nicely. They're probably going to have to adapt to an ever-changing landscape, but ask yourself, how will this look in 1 year from now? We've talked about the tools. With these tools, we can build interactions, and these interactions translate in experiences. Let's talk about interactions. So Jakob Nielsen, who recently reached out to me to talk about AI, which means I made it, I guess. It's like, I couldn't believe it's happening. Anyhow, he released an article this summer where he says that AI is the first new UI paradigm in 60 years. So we're witnessing something groundbreaking. It's really a revolution. Command-based interactions are the traditional system we all use, the conventional human-computer interaction interface, right? The example I give here is that you want to build an illustration of a mountain. You go to Photoshop, you open it, that's one command. You build the triangle, the second command. You add fill to it, third command. So you put one command over the other until you reached your desired output. With AI systems, everything is different now. You give the system your goal. The system captures your intent, understands what you're trying to achieve through prompts, and then does the work for you. Creates a chain of commands autonomously. You're not doing one command after another, the system does it for you. So it's a fundamental change, and it fundamentally changes the way we have to design and think about these products. Experiences. What are experiences like? It's an interesting pursuit even to define them. How I like to think about it is that everything we do, everything we create should bring value, should have meaning, and should create some sort of value in the world. And in this world of technology-driven speed, AI race, nobody's stopping to ask, should we build it in the first place? It's technologically possible. That's great. It's a nice gimmick. We can do it. Should we do it? So the world of AI experiences should start with this question that I think I keep repeating, but it's very important. Because experiences in the age of AI are starting to look the same already. We're seeing this visual language emerge. AI products are kind of using purple all the time. There's this iconography, shared iconography with wands and sparks. And so we're seeing this homogeneous pattern emerging. This is how AI products look like today, right? Magician, Copilot, Companion, the vocabulary is similar. It evens out. But the idea is, how can you stand out in this world? How can you bring value? And the value lies in intentional interactions and purpose. I don't know why I added it in the headline, bad UX. But have purpose with everything you do, and the interactions you build should be intentional. They should bring value. So how do we do that? Let's move into more practical stuff with the help of AI, because we can do that in multiple paths. But what can AI present us with as an opportunity? What can AI do for us in delivering better experiences? Hyper-personalization. Hyper is important because personalization already exists in our products. Netflix is showing you not just recommending movies based on your viewing preferences and history, but also different thumbnails. It's a nice twist. Spotify has this machine learning model of collaborative learning. It understands what other users that are similar to you in some aspects are listening to, and then building your Discover Weekly playlist and so on. Your social media platform of choice is recommending you content based on your preference. So personalization is here for a long time. But what's changing now is this idea of hyper-personalization, which will take it to an extreme. I like to think about it in these terms. In the future, everyone will see their own version of the internet, which is somewhat creepy, but also very, very, very exciting, right? You can imagine that the system knows that you prefer dark themes, so all your products, everything you interact with on digital surfaces will be in dark mode default for you. And then the system learns that you prefer purple. I don't know why I chose purple. I think it's a Freudian choice. You prefer purple, right? And so then it's going to sprinkle some purple here and there for you. And then it knows your font of choice. It's going to use that font in the font and typeface in the size that works best for you and so on. So you'll see your own version of every product. It's going to be very interesting. It's a whole world of possibilities for product designers and product teams. And then there's another aspect, another layer. Content awareness. So with the help of AI, the products we build will essentially know who you are, where you are, like context, not location, not super creepy. So what you're trying to achieve at any given moment. That's really interesting. So if you think about it, products will probably become dynamic. So they will shift and reorganize dynamically to serve a specific goal at a specific moment in time. Let's say you're in a product, you want to search for something, the layout can shift dynamically to adapt to that goal, to serve that goal. And then you just want to browse, and then it shifts again. And it uses that personality aspect, a personalization aspect that I was talking to, and so everything becomes very, very custom. And if you combine these two trends, it's super interesting to think about a distant future concept, which is that of ephemeral applications or just-in-time products. And here I want to invite you to an imagination exercise. Think about a world where you have absolutely no app on your phone. I feel the anxiety in the room. So there's no app, there's nothing. You just have a conversational interface, which is not necessarily limited to voice. And that's where you go and you just communicate your need. And then it creates an app or a solution, it can be anything, to serve that particular moment in time. And you can discard it and use it one time, or you can keep it and reuse it. It's really interesting. So I think apps are going to be dead. I don't know when. Don't worry, don't worry. This is about not getting worried. My talk is just here to encourage you. We'll have nothing to work on. Anyhow, predictive analysis, it's already here, right? Using statistical data with machine learning models to predict trends and outcomes. We're using them in our products. Customer support already here in our products. Chatbots use AI. Sentiment analysis, super interesting. You get an email. Is it positive? Is it negative? Is this person angry or not? It's already here. Many tools offer this service as well. Knowledge bases, FAQs generated with the help of AI. Intelligent routing, so you're getting a complaint, where do AI can decide if it's how urgent it is, how bad it is, and where it needs to get to. So AI is already here in our products for some aspects. And then there's another really interesting one. We can learn faster with the help of AI. This is a huge opportunity, right? So you have a design solution, you're not sure about it, you can translate it into something visual with the help of AI. So generate design with AI. Generate 10 versions. Choose the 2 you like most, edit them, because it's not there yet, you have to edit them. Make them prettier, and then send them to an A/B testing platform, usertesting.com. Probably the research tools are already, many of them have AI capabilities as well. Test them, understand which performs better, refine it, test it again. So the process of learning, the process of understanding whether you're on the right path is super accelerated in the world of AI. And everyone can do it. We can really learn faster. It's a huge opportunity. So what does this all mean? We have all these opportunities, all these possibilities. It doesn't sound good. How should I not worry? Will AI replace me? And then there's the very classic answer, no, a person using AI will. And then I created this little cat that says badumts. But it's super funny that it doesn't say badumts, even though I specifically asked it to say badumts. I wrote it there in the prompt and it got it wrong. So the point here is that even after multiple iterations, it couldn't get it right. So AI will not replace us yet. I think we're safe. It can't get basic commands from us yet. And there are bigger problems than these basic commands. AI can't figure out what problems to solve. So as people, we operate in complex systems. We are a complex ecosystem of connections, life experiences, needs, goals, unconscious needs. We're in a space, in environments that are very different. AI can't understand all this complexity and figure out this is the problem we need to solve for this person. Can't grasp it. And then there's also the aspect of multidisciplinary efforts, right? So to build a product, you need researchers, you need people who can do UI design, interface design, business people, marketing. It's so many stakeholders are involved in this process. That's how you get good products. AI can't replace that. AI can't handle that level of complexity. We're in the age of narrow AI. AI agents can mostly do one task. There are experiments that are getting these AI agents to collaborate, but they're not there yet. So we're safe in that systems thinking capacity that AI can't replace yet. It also lacks empathy. I had a big problem with the word empathy before because I felt like, what does it mean anymore? It's so overused, but now it's really important. In the age of AI, empathy is important. As a person, I am able to imagine what you feel because I felt things as well. The AI systems we use can't feel. They will never feel. So we have a shared understanding of one another that only as people, that we can have only as people. And it still needs a lot of guidance, and it really has trouble understanding context, so we're safe. However, some parts of the design process, for example, can be automated or enhanced, augmented with the help of AI already, and I want to encourage everyone to do that for the reason I was mentioning earlier. Let's expose the limits of the systems. Let's understand where they fail, where they help, where they need to work on, right? So this is an example of how the UX process can be enhanced with the help of AI, but the key in reading this slide is that you are at the center of this. You decide what happens next. You have to define this path. You govern it. That's irreplaceable. The critical thinking at the center of this is not replaceable. And there's the example of Uber, for example, that they've built a design widget where everybody in the company can go in with a prompt, They go from text to design, and they simply say, give me an interface, give me a mobile screen where you have 3 buttons and 3 cards and 1 image, and then it's automatically generated. And so this means that design is going to be democratized. Everybody can bring their design, they can bring their solutions and ideas to life. Generating design will not be the job of the future. Curating what's getting generated is the job of the future. Curating, thinking critically about it, understanding the output you need to get at, that's where we will see value. That's where we will always be valuable. Not pushing pixels unless we enjoy it. Nobody can take that away from you if you like it. But this is not what's going to make us valuable in the future. And so the conclusion here, how do I stop worrying? Use AI products. You're going to see that they're still very limited, that they can help you work better, make you more valuable, and so fear them less. Embrace it. Think of AI as your partner that augments your work, makes you better, gets rid of the tasks that feel menial and not valuable to you, and allows for more creative work. You're a curator of design. Prepare for that. I recommend everyone to take 1 hour aside per week or 2 hours just to experiment with these products. There's never a right moment to test AI product in your day, so you have to specifically plan for it if you're interested in exploring this space. And the 2 most important ideas from today are that in this world of rapidly advancing AI races, you should all strive for user-driven decisions, not technology-driven. Don't build things just because we can build them because they make a better world. And this means that ethics should be at the center of everything, especially in the age of AI. Thank you.